Lesson: Understanding Employee Rights and Employer Obligations. Understanding employee rights and employer obligations is critical for HR leaders who seek to navigate the complex landscape of employment law effectively. This lesson will delve into actionable insights and practical tools that professionals can implement to ensure compliance and foster a positive workplace environment. By integrating frameworks and step-by-step applications, HR leaders can address real-world challenges and enhance their proficiency in employment law, ultimately leading to a more harmonious and legally compliant workplace. At the core of understanding employee rights is recognizing the fundamental principles that govern the employer-employee relationship. These principles are often enshrined in national legislation, international labor standards, and collective agreements. Key employee rights typically include the right to a safe work environment, fair compensation, non-discrimination, privacy, and the ability to engage in collective bargaining. A practical tool for HR leaders is the development of an employee rights charter, which outlines these rights in clear, accessible language and is communicated to all employees during onboarding and through regular training sessions. Such a charter not only educates employees about their rights, but also serves as a benchmark for evaluating company policies and practices. Employer obligations, on the other hand, encompass a range of duties that organizations must fulfill to comply with legal standards and promote ethical business practices. These obligations include maintaining a safe and healthy workplace, ensuring equal employment opportunities, paying employees fairly, and respecting employee privacy. One effective framework for ensuring compliance with these obligations is the implementation of a compliance checklist. This checklist serves as a comprehensive guide for HR leaders to periodically review and assess the organization's adherence to employment laws and regulations. By systematically checking compliance in key areas, HR leaders can proactively identify and address potential legal issues before they escalate. A critical aspect of both employee rights and employer obligations is the prevention of workplace discrimination and harassment. Discrimination can occur based on race, gender, age, disability, religion, or other protected characteristics. Harassment, similarly, can manifest through unwelcome conduct that creates a hostile work environment. To address these issues effectively, HR leaders can implement an anti-discrimination and harassment policy, which outlines prohibited behaviors and establishes clear procedures for reporting and addressing complaints. Training programs that educate employees and managers about recognizing and preventing discrimination and harassment are also essential. Furthermore, implementing reporting mechanisms, such as anonymous hotlines or online reporting systems, encourages employees to come forward with concerns without fear of retaliation. In practice, case studies can provide valuable insights into the application of these principles. For instance, consider a scenario where an employee files a complaint alleging workplace discrimination based on gender. In this case, HR leaders should reference the organization's anti-discrimination and harassment policy and initiate a thorough investigation following the procedures outlined in the policy. This includes interviewing the complainant, the accused, and any witnesses, as well as reviewing relevant documentation. Throughout the investigation, maintaining confidentiality and ensuring that all parties are treated with respect and fairness are crucial. Once the investigation is complete, HR leaders must take appropriate action based on the findings, which may include disciplinary measures, policy revisions, or additional training for employees. Statistics can further illuminate the prevalence and impact of workplace discrimination and harassment. According to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, in the United States alone, there were over 67,000 charges of workplace discrimination filed in 2020, with retaliation being the most frequently cited issue. These statistics underscore the importance of proactive measures to prevent discrimination and harassment and highlight the role of HR leaders in fostering inclusive workplace cultures. Another critical area of employee rights and employer obligations is the right to fair compensation. This encompasses not only the payment of wages, but also compliance with minimum wage laws, overtime pay regulations, and equal pay for equal work. To ensure compliance, HR leaders can utilize a compensation audit framework, which involves regularly reviewing compensation practices to identify and rectify disparities. This framework should include an analysis of pay equity across different employee groups, as well as a review of job classifications and descriptions to ensure alignment with industry standards and legal requirements. By conducting regular audits, organizations can demonstrate their commitment to fair compensation and address any inequities that may arise. The right to privacy is another essential component of employee rights. In the digital age, where employee monitoring and data collection are increasingly common, HR leaders must balance organizational interests with employees' right to privacy. Developing a privacy policy that clearly outlines the types of data collected, the purposes for which it is used, and the measures in place to protect this data is a critical step. Additionally, obtaining employees' informed consent for data collection and respecting their rights to access and rectify personal information are key practices to ensure compliance with privacy laws. A practical application of these privacy principles can be seen in the case of a company implementing employee monitoring software. HR leaders must ensure that the use of such software is transparent, justified, and limited to what is necessary for legitimate business purposes. Communicating the reasons for monitoring, the data collected, and how it will be used helps build trust and ensures compliance with privacy regulations. Finally, the right to engage in collective bargaining and union activities is a fundamental employee right protected by international labor standards. HR leaders must recognize and respect employees' rights to organize, join unions, and negotiate collectively. Establishing a positive relationship with employee representatives and engaging in good faith negotiations are essential practices. An effective tool for managing these relationships is the Labor Relations Framework, which provides guidelines for communication, negotiation, and conflict resolution between management and employee representatives. By fostering a collaborative approach to labor relations, organizations can create a more supportive and productive workplace environment. In conclusion, understanding employee rights and employer obligations is essential for HR leaders navigating the complexities of employment law. By implementing practical tools such as employee rights charters, compliance checklists, anti-discrimination and harassment policies, compensation audit frameworks, privacy policies, and labor relations frameworks, HR leaders can effectively address real-world challenges and enhance their proficiency in this area. By prioritizing compliance and fostering a culture of respect and inclusivity, organizations can not only mitigate legal risks, but also create a more positive and productive workplace. Through education, transparency, and proactive measures, HR leaders can play a pivotal role in upholding employee rights and fulfilling employer obligations, ultimately contributing to the overall success and sustainability of the organization.